Ahoy mateys, it's A7X Van Ben again, ready for game 2 between the Altar Abuse fleet and kill that UPS fleet. So, also known as the Dragon fleet, for just how I'm referring to them. For shorthand, basically Altar versus Dragon for the shortest possible names. So black for Altar Abuse and red for Dragon fleet. We'll see who goes first. So Altar went first in the last game, but they won't here. So we've got a 4 against 3. So the Dragon fleet will go first, and they'll place the first island. And so we'll see. The MI stuff is going to work the same way. The Dragon fleet is going to vote for mysterious islands to be used. Altar fleet is going to say they don't want them. So we're going to have to roll off to determine if we have them or not. So the Altar, okay, this is great. I like this because it's the complete opposite of game 1. So Altar gets their role, so we won't see the Isles of Fire. They didn't really play a role in game 1 anyway, but both the who goes first and whether or not to use those is the opposite of game 1, which I think is good for trying to minimize like how luck affects the results of the series. It'll always have an effect, of course, especially with the treasure distribution, but it's nice to see some opposite results here. So Dragon fleet, so they go first. So they place the first island, and they know they want islands about 6L apart from each other. They want maximum distance to make enemy treasure trips take as long as possible. So you're gonna go there, wait in the corner for the first island. No need to not really any need to do random island placement, so I'm not gonna bother. The Altar fleet is gonna go 3L, pretty much directly east, and place this minimum distance 3L away from that first island, which is going to result in the Dragon fleet going, I think, 6L away from that one. So yeah, they're gonna space this out here. I'm gonna go way over here. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna go on the edge there in the east. So next fleet is the Altar fleet. They're gonna fill in this gap here. Yeah, they're gonna go in the corner. This will be kind of a tighter setup. Last Ocean was kind of biased towards the north. This one's gonna be the opposite. It's gonna be way more in the south overall. So I'm gonna set up this right here for 3L there, and then here 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna go pretty much right there, I think. Yeah, they like that placement. And so 4th island is the last one placed by the Dragon fleet. You're still gonna go max distance, I think. They could go like up here. You could go way north, but that's a little off screen, but they could go like way up. But problem there is the enemy picks their home island first, so then they might choose them to go there, but then place the last island closer, like here or there, and then the Dragon fleet will be super far away from everything. So I think they don't want quite that extreme of a result. So they're gonna try, and also Hyena, they wouldn't mind. I mean, islands closer does help Hyena get places faster, so that's going to be 4, 5, 6. So you're going to go 6L from one of these, and then they're just going to let the other fleet decide how they want to play it. So the Altar fleet places the last island. They can also choose the home island of the first player. So they could go far up north and place them that 6L away. I think they actually might want to. Yeah. I'll have to zoom out, but it should be pretty easy to get it into the frame here at some point. Oh yeah, I can almost already see it. And I'll go up with the view. Yeah, let me just adjust the view a little bit right now. Yeah, it looks about right actually. Okay, so I think they will go with the final island. I think Altar Abuse will actually go 6L away. And this one, because they know they can put dragon fleet there. So that's 4, 5, 6. So max distance into the northeast corner. So pretty wide setup actually. So pretty big area in general. Awesome. So you can see all 6. So now we'll come to terrain. And this might get interesting because I think the voting is going to get more extreme. Yeah, well, I think at this point, the Dragon Fleet does want some terrain because they might put a whirlpool. They might put a few whirlpools out there to help Hyena get to places faster. Because if Hyena starts here or in the northeast as their home island location, it's just going to take a long time to get anywhere. So yeah, this is actually a really wide island setup. The first 3 were not, but yeah, those 2 islands that are farther apart really broaden the scope of this ocean basically. So it could be pretty neat. And so terrain, player 1 is the Dragon Fleet. They're going to propose their number first. They proposed 3 last game. They might do something similar. I think they might do more actually. Might propose 4. They could place 2 whirlpools, 2 sargassos, something like that. I think they'll propose 4. And Ultra Abuse, I think they're going to propose 6. They liked how there were fog banks and whirlpools last game, but they would also like a reef as well in case they get the Altar and they can fly the dragon onto it. So yeah, Altar is going to propose 6. So since they disagree, let's do another roll off. So black for Altar, red for dragon. And okay, so tied at 3. So we'll go to a second roll here. Okay, so Altar gets their roll. Just like in game 1, actually, they got the train roll for that one. So might not make a huge difference. Once again, the difference is 2, 5, 3 in game 1 versus 6 to 4 differential here. So might not play a huge role, but I'm gonna place a lot of train, so 6 per player. And I kind of just splay them out over here where probably no train will be placed right there. I might be a whirlpool, so let's go a little bit up. So, all right, so terrain placement time. So, Dragon Fleet, they want whirlpools and sargassos generally. They do anticipate getting their home island placed up here, so they're going to put a whirlpool within distance of where Hyena is going to end up docked. So, yeah, they're going to go in case the enemy fleet finds. Well, they're going first, so they could go through here either way. Yeah, probably reveal their helmsman and just get in that way. So that looks fine there. And so that's 1, and then enemy fleet. They're kind of curious. Dragon Fleet didn't place any whirlpools last time. Terrain setup. So they actually want to wait and not place any whirlpools of their own yet to see where the enemy places their second whirlpool, at least possibly. So, but that might be a cagey thing. Both fleets might delay whirlpool placements. So, so Altar knows they're extremely likely to put the Dragon Fleet here. They anticipate their home island maybe being there or there, so the Dragon Fleet can try to minimize their Wild Island access. They don't expect to get placed here, I guess. Maybe there, but it's kind of hard to say. I think they're kind of expecting to get placed there because it's just farther from any island than any of these 4. Any one of these 4 is within pretty close range of one or the other of those 4. So they're gonna Hidden Cove. They're just gonna do a fog between some. Maybe. Oh, I know what they can do. Instead of this is part of the train meta I've never thought about. They could place a fog like more in the middle. They place it like here. It doesn't interfere with this direct like trade route line or like the sea lane essentially, going from one island to another in one move action. And then that way, if the enemy places a Sargasso, they'd have to place it also out of the sea lane because it has to be at least S away from other terrain. Versus if they place the fog a little bit farther here, they can kind of put the Sargasso like kind of right in the way potentially. So I've never thought about that. But especially in this matchup where Haipeng's max speed really matters, getting from one island to another in one move action, you actually play a role here. So we're gonna do like slightly offset fog banks from Wild Islands, I think. So 6 per player. There's no rush on the whirlpool. It's placed by the Dragon Fleet. They're probably only gonna place one more. I think they are gonna probably put, they're thinking, I think they're gonna get placed in the northeast. And I know it's a little bit, it does make the train stuff a little bit flawed when I kind of have an idea of where each fleet might go. They could still affect that with the train placement, but we'll see. So we're gonna go ahead and place a Sargasso between these two then. Actually, there should be like a wider one potentially. Maybe not quite. I guess they're almost the same width, but whatever. We'll place one there, and so now we get back to the Alter fleet. We're gonna place another fog. They want to do very similar to last game, probably 3 fog banks, maybe 2 whirlpools at most, and then definitely at least 1 reef for sure. So they're gonna do a fog bank in between these islands, trying to keep that sea lane open a little bit for direct movement. Yeah, that looks good there. This is cool. It's kind of like a terrain war right now. So yeah, now get to the 3rd round of terrain. Sargasso is probably gonna go down. But yeah, see, now it's hard to put it right in between the islands. So they can only really seed one of them like that in the southwest. I think they'll still, yeah, it's almost, maybe it's pointless to place them there then. I think they might still do at least 1 more. They might actually seed the island with them. They might do something like that, I think, for their next Sargasso. Yeah, they'll try that. And then, okay. So there's the Dragon Fleet. Now the Alter Fleet picks their 3rd terrain, which I think will be 1 more fog bank. It's going to be placed here, S away from the Sargasso, and in range of those 2 islands with a move action. So go to the 4th round of terrain. Dragon Fleet, you might start their other whirlpool placement now, because they're going to at some point anyway. So yeah, they're gonna place one maybe up in here. It's kind of debatable where to put stuff. They could just plan to go to an island right away. I don't think they're going to though, just because they know how bad the negative ETs they placed are. I don't think they want Hyena to explore. Similar to other games in this tournament, they don't want to explore with her on the first turn and then find Plague, which is kind of too valuable of a combat asset to want to do that. They'd rather hunt the enemy down and attack. It's debatable though, because then if the Alter fleet finds the Alter on the first round, it's over potentially. We saw that in game 1, so it's a tough one. They might change their +5 contributions a little bit. The Dragon Fleet might. So, all right, they'll put that whirlpool there though. It's fine. So Dragon Fleet just did their 4th. Yeah, 4th train. So 4th round, 2nd half goes to Alter. They don't mind these whirlpool placements either, but I think they're going to put down some of their own. Not quite yet though. We can place a reef now and then still be able to place 2 whirlpools after this round, so we're going to do that. We'll go with a reef up where they plan to place the enemy, so it's easy to slam the Hyena onto it to get the Alter early. Well, by then the Hyena might have already whirlpooled somewhere else, but whatever. We'll do that. 5th round of train. Dragon Fleet is kind of not sure what they want to do. I don't think there's much point in doing more Sargasso Seas. I don't think they're really going to get in the way of the enemy ships. At least not enough. They could do one near the home island again, where they anticipate maybe being able to put the enemy. But I think they'd rather go with whirlpools to give Hyena increased access to islands. Yeah, they're actually gonna go kind of maybe a little riskier in a way. They're gonna try a whirlpool over here. Try one right there. That's away from the fog bank. And so second to last terrain placed by the Altar Abuse fleet. And they're thinking they like these whirlpools, but they want more in between some islands. So they're going to place a whirlpool of their own, but it's going to go over here. It's going to be SOA from the Sargasso Sea and pretty close to the island there. So this could be a pretty dynamic setup. So the whirlpools are probably going to make the game go a little faster in terms of not needing to go these full distances between islands, but we'll see. It's already 4 in play, 4 whirlpools. So, all right, so that's, yeah, it's 4, 8, 10 terrain placed, 2 left. So Dragon Fleet, their final terrain. Let's see. They're pretty happy with the whirlpools at this point. The only island without whirlpool access is down here. So that could mean the enemy might place them there. So I think, yeah, they're just gonna go all out. They're gonna place one here too. That way, there's nowhere for the Altar Fleet to place the Dragon home island where they don't have whirlpool access within 1 move action on the first turn. And yeah, based on game 1, I think they're gonna risk Hyena exploring. It's a tough one. I think since they're going first, they might actually change their unique treasure contributions. I was already thinking about Karmic Idol, but they might actually add the Codex as well. They really they want to knock out that Ultra the Loa. They really want to kill it. So they're actually going to use some eliminators, even though that's usually one of the ways an enemy would counter their negative UTs. They really don't want to repeat a game 1. They're kind of desperate to avoid that worst case scenario outcome. So, okay, that should be 7. Yeah, it's 11. So 1 more terrain, and Altar Abuse decides, of course, what it is and where it goes. They're gonna go. Now there's just whirlpools everywhere now. So they've got a reef in play, so they don't really need more than 1 reef, I suppose. They might do 1 more. Trying to think if there's any other type they would want. Yeah, there's already whirlpools. Could do a fog bank. Maybe. Yeah, you know what? They might fog out up in the north. They might have a fog hiding spot between these 2 whirlpools. So, yeah, they'll try that. That way they could fog out on the way to or from enemy home island, something like that. So, okay, so that finishes things up. Yeah, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 terrain placed total. So plenty of whirlpool access to wild islands and home islands. It looks like 5 whirlpools total, 3 fog. Looks like 2 Sargasso or reef, 4 fog, I should say. So, all right. So now that terrain is done, we go to choosing home islands. So player 2, Altar Fleet, we're going to place the black token for the Dragon Fleet, or actually the white one, sorry. The white one, because they have more English ships than pirate ships, so they get the, the less evil color, so to speak, but whatever. So they're going to place them, I think, in the northeast. I think they're going to stick to that plan. Yeah, they like that. That's fine. So grab the Angelica, Hyena, and just like game 1, HMS Rye is a proxy for the Patagonia in the Dragon Fleet, because both fleets have the Patagonia, of course. So no surprise there in a competitive series. So they'll start, I think, like that. Looks fine. They're going first, so they know they can hit that whirlpool with Hyena. And they're going to place the Altar Fleet. I think they're still going to go here with them. I don't really see much of a negative to that. I don't think there's a better spot to put them. If anything, the fog banks are closer to these 4 than that one is here. So in terms of like an enemy hiding out on the way back with treasure or something. So I think they'll stick to that plan. So place their own Patagonia and the Altar Fleet. They do need to think about This is not the final placement. I got to think about Hidden Cove and where it's going to take them, where they want to go with it. They could Whirlpool on the first round to any Wild Island in play. So based on that, I think Haipeng, both ships are going to stay in range of this Whirlpool. For Hidden Cove purposes, I'm not sure they really care. They don't know what's going to be on the islands, so they're just gonna kind of wing it. I think if they placed Haipeng over here, that would be the closest Wild Island, I'm pretty sure. So this is like a little more than 2 full lengths there. Yeah, this one will be the closest if she starts the game there. That's probably not what they want, actually. So it depends on where Hyena goes too. So Hyena could whirl here or there. So yeah, it's hard to really. Yeah, since they're going second, they don't have control over like what they're gonna see. They gotta wait for the enemy to figure something out before they can look at their Hidden Cove options. So based on that, they're just gonna place. That's gonna be their final placement for home islands. So now we get to placing crew. So they're placed by player 1 first. Same stuff for the most part, I think. Robinson and Bradley on Patagonia. And, well, okay, so this is the decision they gotta make, is whether or not to go with the same 3 crew, Captain, Explorer, Oarsman on Hyena, or if they want to change that. So I think they want to keep those crew and just have her use the Whirlpool to explore on the first turn with Micron. Like 1 action of the Whirlpool, 2nd action she comes out somewhere and then docks and explores. I think they're going to risk that based on their slightly modified UT contributions and based on basically being scared that the Altar Abuse fleet will find the altar on their first turn. Usually they lie in wait of an enemy and then slam them once they're out and about away from the home island, but in this case, with the Altar Abuse fleet looming, they don't feel like they can wait to explore. So I think Hyena's going to keep the crew though. So, because they don't really need Hidden Cove. They don't really need to swap out the captain or whatever for Hidden Cove. They're going to keep the Explorer no matter what. So then the captain and oarsman are the modular ones. So they don't really want to swap the captain for Hidden Cove and divers. They could, but I don't think they're going to bother with that. So I think they'll keep the same. So we're going to go with the captain, explorer, oarsman on Hyena. Keep their +5 choices the same. The other fleet is definitely going to keep their +5 choices the same. They've got Hidden Cove face down, and face down explorer, oarsman on Bloody Jewel. So placing crew ends up being the same as last game, with a little bit of thought into it from the Dragon Fleet. And for placing treasure, that's where it's going to change, at least for the Dragon Fleet. So after getting wrecked by the altar in game 1, they're going to include Karmic Idol instead of Savage Natives. It's one of the UT wipers, as I like to call them, or eliminators. And I think they're going to include the Piratic Codex as well. I just got to figure out what to swap it for. There's Wolves, Missionary, Natives, and Plague. So I think I might swap out. Missionary maybe. Wolves could deny the use of the altar, maybe. Yeah, I think they'll probably swap out the Missionary for Piratic Codex. They could swap out another one for Jailhouse Dog, but they want to maintain some negative UTs. They don't want to swap out more than half. So they're going to keep 3 negatives, and so basically these could wipe out their stuff they like, but they really want it to wipe out the altar. So yeah, so I'm going to grab a Piratic Codex instead of Missionary. Yeah, I think that works fine. It's kind of debatable which one to swap out, but Missionary and Plague are similar, so I guess they'll just get rid of one of those crew killers, basically. So I'll get a Codex, mix them up, 4 per island, and then we'll be ready to start. Okay, treasure distributed. We are ready to start game 2 of this competitive matchup. Semifinals continue. Just clock, not an endgame condition, just to help me try to play the game faster. Remind me of the time spent. So the right clock is going to be the Dragon Fleet going first, because their home island is in the east on the right side of the board. So we'll get going, and we're going to reveal Helmsman on Hyena. I'm just going to reveal the Explorer right now because they're gonna use it. They're going to reveal Lord Micron on Patagonia as well. So they're going to zip Hyena out here. The only question is which whirlpool to go through, and then therefore which island to explore. So I don't really know. I guess, well, they do see Hai Peng's position here. They see that a face down event was added via the +5, and they can kind of assume it's probably Hidden Cove again. And it looks like Hai Peng is closest to this island, so it could make their Hidden Cove, location worse if they go here. So I think Hyena is probably going to do that. She's also got a fog bank right here, and it's closest to their home island if they don't want to whirlpool back for some reason. So I think Hyena is going to come out right here. So we'll do the whirlpool roll, the red die for them, and it's a bad one in this case. So 4 through 6 is Mass Crew Treasure. It's not great. They don't really want to lose any crew. Of course, they could end up Plague. I think they're gonna. Yeah, I guess they'll lose an Oarsman. Yeah, they'll lose the face down Oarsman. They don't want to lose a mask because they want to be able to hit enemy hard if they have the chance sooner rather than later. So Micron to give Hyena a second action here, and she wants to dock where she's in range of the fog bank and the whirlpool on her next turn. So she's gonna kind of go straight in for the most part. So she's got an Explorer. So grab one of their Explorer tokens, and we're gonna take a gander at these goodies here and see what the all-important treasure distribution has to say. And we've got Plague and the Altar. So a dramatic island of interesting proportions. Abandoned Oarsman and a 5. Pretty similar to the first island explored in game 1. I think those 3 were there basically. There's a negative this time. So Plague will wipe out the crew. The Altar goes face up right away. It's not, they don't make a choice on that. So the Altar is revealed to the other fleet with the first action of the game, just like in game 1, even with the opponent going first. So no need to search for it. And the Plague, so per the pirate code, Plague wipes out the crew, and that ends the Explorer action, unfortunately. So they gambled and they lost. So say what you will. So that's unfortunate. I guess the only question now is, can they eliminate crew via the Altar before they're killed by the Plague? I don't think that would work, but it's a good question. It says, while docked at this island, you may eliminate 2 crew. I think you'd have to finish the Explorer action first. I think the Plague would be applied before you can utilize the Altar. So based on what I know about Explorer action, order of operations, and the fact that Plague is applied as soon as it's loaded, and it undocks the ship right away, even though she was docked when she explored. So she cannot dock, and the code actually has her become undocked right away. So based on all that, I highly doubt they would be able to sack their crew to the Altar before the Plague applies. So, and as the code says, that interrupts with the Explorer killed, that prevents them from loading these, and now they're not docked anyway. The die there is just to represent the ship is not docked anymore, the Hyena. So similar to game 1, horrific luck for the kill that UPS fleet. They thought they had something going, and they were able to find the Altar first, but Plague prevents them from using it. And now I have a feeling they're completely screwed, because they know the enemy fleet can use Micron, move Bloody Jewel through the whirlpool, to dock here, and then as soon as she starts sacking crew, it's going to be really hard to recover. I'll play it out, of course, but so an ugly start, despite going first. So they gambled, and on trying to explore an island first, and they lost. That being said, I mean, they did find the altar here, so if they just had Hyena kind of wait off the coast, Hai Peng probably would have gone here, traded away the plague, and then be able to sack at the altar. There's a chance you would get another negative in exchange for plague, or maybe the karmic idol or something, but honestly, even if they don't explore here with Hyena, whether they just wait off the coast lying in wait with Hai Peng or they explore somewhere else, there's still a good chance the enemy activates the altar on turn 1 and can sack crew. So yeah, so Angelica is probably gonna fly somewhere, but it's debatable. She probably shouldn't, actually, because Hai Peng could come through the whirlpool and hit her. She probably won't do that. I think they're going to probably have Bloody Jewel go here with Micron's action to start sacking. So rounds 2 and 3 will be under complete control of the altar fleet. That's probably what's going to happen, most likely. So Angelica could fly over here and try to block Bloody Jewel, but I don't think there's a way to ensure it. Even if she blocks here, Bloody Jewel is going to be able to move and dock in a different spot. So I think this is weird. Yeah, Angelica might be kind of screwed either way. I don't think there's a place she can go where she's going to be able to block effectively. And then by the time she does that, I guess she might as well, because now the writing's on the wall that the enemy fleet is going to be able to use the altar on the second half of this first round and start controlling them. So I guess they might as well put Angelica somewhere in the way to try to block Bloody Jewel. Might actually put her here. Yeah, that would block her. She's not quite, she wouldn't be able to get through on either side. So then Bloody Jewel at least have to dock here, which could be a worse place to dock. I think that's the best they can do with Angelica, unfortunately. Theoretically, Hai Peng could hit Angelica with like a double action from Micron here, or even without the double action maybe, but I don't think that's what they'll do. So, okay. So I think that'll be it for the kill that UPS fleet. Should have paused the clock during that rules check, but whatever. So now we get to see the altar fleet rev up again and get into some crazy action here, because they can easily control the enemy now. So there's really no reason not to. The only question now is where Hai Peng goes. She's not going to get Micron. Let me think about hidden coving. So the nearest unexplored wild island, or wild island with no treasure on it. So I actually have to measure this out, because I have no idea which of these islands is the nearest unexplored from the Hai Peng. So let me try to figure that out real quick. I don't know if I'll get it perfect, but so that's going to be 3L, 3S, plus about 2L. So let's say 5L, 3S, and then this island is going to be, try to get this end to end here. So that one looks farther from Hai Peng. That's 5L and a little more than 3S. So yeah, this one was a little less than, yeah, okay. So she's closer to this one, and she'll be closer to that one than the southwestern one. So she'd have to hidden cove here. I think she probably will. There's a chance she finds some crappy UTs, but at least she could trade them away. And now she knows, I don't think there's really any negative unique treasures that stay face down. So she could trade, she knows she can trade for one of those face down treasures safely. So that's cool. So she likes that idea as well. So I think they're going to do that. I suppose they should use Bloody Jewel first, because her turn is pretty much inevitable. Yeah, they'll go Bloody Jewel first. So Bloody Jewel, She's going to go through this whirlpool, come out right there, and roll for damage. And I had another black die. Man, I only have 3 now. Oh, anyway. So she does take damage through the whirlpool. She can't really afford to lose any of her 4 crew, because that's 2 full turns of control. So she's gonna lose the mast through the whirlpool. She doesn't think she'll really need it. And now she's gonna be given a second action from Micron to dock. It's right there, basically. Just make sure she doesn't touch the hyena. She's got the plague. So she's gonna touch there, and I think she doesn't need to use the Explorer to activate the altar, but since any of those negatives should be face up or revealed, at a minimum revealed, I think she might as well use her Explorer. I'm just gonna flip that face up and explore this island for the benefit of her fleet. So they both explored here. So she's gonna find that abandoned oarsman and the 5, and she does have cargo space available. She could take both. Yeah, she's gonna reveal an existing oarsman that was face down. That way it doesn't take up space, so she can load both coins. So 4 crew, 3 that take up space, 2 spaces available, she loads both coins. And now she is going to sacrifice the oarsman she flipped face up and a face down oarsman to start the altar control. So she sacrifices those 2 crew, and now they have complete control of the enemy actions on their next turn. So now the High Pang, so that used up Micron, so High Pang is left, and she might as well Hidden Cove. So they're gonna reveal that Hidden Cove, the High Pang here. Like I talked about, this is where they closest unexplored wild island. And the only question is which side to dock at to move to another one. Let me see if the Sargasso Sea makes it impossible to move to this island in 1 move action. So that's basically what they should determine. But either way, they can get to this one even with the Sargasso, and this one is obvious. So they both have access to whirlpools. I mean, it's just a random treasure distribution game, basically. Which island is more or less likely to have negatives? We have no idea. I think she'll move here. There's a slight chance she'll shoot at Hyena after Hyena is moved south or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think she'll dock from Hidden Cove there, and then she'll move S+L, redock, and reveal her Explorer. No surprise there. Place another Explored token, and take a look at what she gets here. Okay. Errata Codex, Maps of Alexandria, Natives in 5. Okay. Alright. Now it gets complicated. So this could get ugly. This is where the modified treasure distribution of the other fleet could really mess things up, because they found the codex. Alright, this is gonna take some time. So they can apply these 3 in any order. If they apply the maps first, all treasure on Wild Islands is placed face up for the remainder of the game, and then the codex would apply after that, and then it all gets wiped out. So that would wipe out the altar. If they apply the codex first, it's not revealed because maps gets eliminated before it can be used, basically, and then codex would still wipe out the altar. The only way to preserve the altar is if they trade away the Pirata Codex with Bartholomew Roberts, which is probably what they're going to do. Because I think if they lose the altar, their chances of winning definitely go down. But then they would get hit with natives if they trade away the Codex, because they can only trade 1, and they have 3 crew. So natives would stick the High Peng there for 3 turns, which is nasty, because they don't even have, they won't even have 3 turns of control. they only have 2 rounds total of control with the Bloody Jewel's 4 crew. Bloody Jewel got that Abandoned Oarsman, but that's only 1 more crew. She would need a 2nd additional crew to get a 3rd round of control established. And then there's also a chance, of course, if they trade away the Codex or the natives, that they receive something bad in return. They might receive the Karmic Idol in return for the Codex and be in the same situation. So let me just think about the pros and cons of the various things they could do here. One thing about this situation is that the altar's already been used. So this is an interesting rules question. So since the altar has already been used and those crew are eliminated, I don't know if the Codex eliminating the altar would basically cancel that altar turn of control here on the upcoming 2nd round. So kind of a bizarre situation, really. Based on what I know about other effects, I think it would. So I'll check out a recent rules post by Wolf to see if it clarifies anything. Actually, based on a recent post by Wolf in the rules thread, he talked about with Cursed Captain Jack, like other persistent / duration effects, if the source is eliminated or canceled somehow, the ability restriction immediately ends. But in this case, it's not a persistent or duration effect. It's something that'll take effect on the next turn. So I'm going to ask him about how this would work, but I'm going to make sure I ask about it. AOTL eliminated after crew already sacked. So the way I see it is, since the crew have already been sacked by Bloody Jewel, sacrificed to the altar, I think it should still apply, even if it's eliminated this turn via the Piratic Codex or the idol if they trade for that. So that's how I'm going to play it. Maybe it'll be wrong, but whatever. Either way, Sirius is likely to go to a game 3, and so I still have to figure out what to do here, like what to trade away. I think they want to trade away the natives and start eliminating all the UTs from the game. I think they're gonna, because if they let natives apply, Haipeng is stuck past the duration of how long they can keep the altar going for. So they don't like that idea of losing control of the enemy fleet. And then, I mean, they could still do a lot of damage, I guess, in the meantime. Haipeng would just be stuck for quite a while. So I guess they could let the natives apply and then trade away the Codex and hope they don't get something worse or equivalent in return. So it says the ship that reveals natives may not be given action for a number of rounds equal to the number of crew on her when natives is revealed. Keep natives face down on its island. So, I mean, it'll go face up. It's the maps, once the maps take effect. But yeah, you know what? I think they're gonna attempt to keep the altar in play because of how much damage they can do to the enemy fleet and how far they can put them behind if they keep it in play. So that's what they're gonna do. So none of these have been revealed to the enemy fleet yet, but so they're still trading. So they're gonna make their trading decision, and they're going to trade away the Codex, I think, to the southwestern island because they don't plan on going there. They might have to, but they don't have a lot of gold. They have 5 on. They got 5 on Bloody Jewel, 5 on Haipeng. Might load 5. She has to load whatever she trades for, but basically, they don't want the Codex here because then when they go there, they find it again. They might want to trade away something else, like missionary or whatever they anticipate being there instead. So we're gonna see what happens. They're gonna trade the Codex to this island, and we're gonna see what they get. So 1 through 4, left to right, and they get the first treasure. Oh, it's just Karmic Idol. So that's, yep. So that was one of the things that they didn't know that would happen because that and the Codex were not in the treasure distribution in game 1, so they're pissed. But the Dragon Fleet doesn't know what they just traded away, but this is pretty funny. So they traded away one Eliminator and got the other in return. So now our altar is just gone either way. So, okay, so now they would load and apply these. So they're gonna, so now at least they won't have to deal with natives. That's, I guess, the silver lining. So they're gonna, so now either way, the altar will be eliminated. So they're gonna apply Maps of Alexandria first. So both fleets now get to see all treasure on Wild Islands, including these, basically, before they would apply or get loaded. So, so in the southwest, we have Marksman's Map, the Codex, of course, and then a 5 and a 4, which means that there's a 6 in the southeast, but also wolves. So they're gonna get knocked out here. So Pirate Globe and wolves, 6 and 5 in the southeast. So kind of an interesting, kind of a balanced treasure distribution. The 3 negatives were all on different islands, so it's kind of nice, I suppose. Yeah, kind of a little bit more of a balanced treasure distribution than I've seen in some of the recent tournament number 3 games that have been kind of wild. So, okay, so Maps is applied, goes out of the game. Karmic Idol now applies and wipes out all face-up UTs from the game. Of course, they were all just turned up, they were all just turned face-up, so now they're all gone. So Wolves, Altar, Globe, Maps, Idol, put these next to their associated fleet they were used with, and the natives as well, of course. So, okay. So, okay, so that face-down oarsman, that was not on a wild island. It's Maps of Alexandria, just says all treasure on wild islands. So there's still technically a UT, but it's a face-down abandoned crew. Oh, this takes out the plague too. Okay, that was the last one I was looking for. Okay, so Idol, Codex. Okay, cool. So those are the 5 they used, and the other 2 that they used in the previous game. Okay, so big dramatic stuff happening. So that'll shorten the game here, though, now that all that's resolved. And Haipeng will load. Yeah, she might as well load the 5. So I think they actually might still be able to pull this out. The key, I mean, part of this obviously rests on that rules question about whether or not Alter the Lowest still applies after elimination. But again, I think once the crew are eliminated, it would be kind of shitty if you lost the ability to use it when you've already activated it. So, so we'll see. If that's not the case, then obviously massive asterisk on this game. But whatever. Probably just going to play game 3 at a minimum anyway. So I think that's their turn. That's 3 actions. Haipeng doesn't really have anything else to do. Okay, I'll flip back. Should have already flipped Black Bart, but there he is for the trading, and that'll end their turn. So now we go to the other fleet, but it's controlled by the enemy. So they're gonna fly Angelica over to this reef here immediately and roll for hopefully some damage. Alter fleet, no damage. Okay, so a 4. So the reefing of Angelica doesn't work, and get that out of the way. We know Hyena's not docked. Now she doesn't have any crew. This is a weird situation. Bloody Jewel just wants to book it out of there now. And this is their only turn of control, because obviously Alter's gone, so they can't activate it now for next turn. I think Hyena can't quite reach this whirlpool. Not quite. Not when you measure from the bow. Nope, she won't touch it, so they can't whirl her around. I think she can probably get to the fog bank, but yeah, they'll probably do that. I don't know where else they should go with her. They could move her like out and about. Yeah, you know what? I think they'll do that, because if she goes to the fog bank, she could hit with the right roll, exit roll. She could hit this island or the whirlpool with 1 action. So they're actually just gonna move the Hyena just away from stuff, basically. So, and then big one here. Okay, so Micron is face up, so they can use. So they have to make a decision. They can either fly Angelica Actually, I think the reef rating is till the end of that player's turn, I think. I think I may have messed that up years ago with the reef. Yeah, the result is the reef's rating until the end of that player's turn. Yeah, so even if they re-reef the dragon, the force still applies and she won't take damage. So based on that, they're going to dump their proxy Lord Micron. The Ultra Fleet is going to force him to go ashore via a free action, free transfer rules, and then the Patagonia is going to move S away. I don't think they can stern turn, but actually, you know what? I think they can get her to not be able to dock on their turn, just based on the movement logistics. So yeah, they're going to stern turn a little bit there, and that way, yeah, I think she's probably based on the hull turning limits, but also the way the ship was docked, she won't be able to dock home next turn and load up Micron. So that could be big actually. So free action to dump Micron, then Rye moves away, and I think that's all they can do to hurt the enemy here. So their one and only turn of control with the altar is still pretty decent. So go back to altar now, altar abuse, and yeah, the nice thing is Hai Peng is not stuck from the natives now, so she can go load up this treasure. So yeah, she'll flip her helmsman here, and well, she's gonna have to dump some stuff to load up the right coinage, but I think they'll be able to pull this off. It looks like it to me. Might just be a little bit annoying. They might encounter some resistance on the way back, but whatever. They gotta at least go for it. So LS, then LS. Hai Peng docks here, and I think she wants to load both. So she has her explorer, so mark that island explored. So she has to do some shenanigans with the cargo, but she's going to. So she's already full. She's going to, yeah, she's going to exchange her. Actually, she needs to retain some movement bonuses in order to get to this whirlpool next turn. Yeah, I tried to dock her as far east on the island as I could, but she's still going to require more than LS to get there. Same thing if she docked here, she wouldn't be able to get to that whirlpool with just 2 segments. So let me figure out the cargo logistics a little bit. Actually, I mean, if Bloody Jewel gets home with her 5, which is it's an if, but I think she probably will. Maybe. That's a tough one. She could get home right now, actually, with Micron. Let me think about how they want to do this. So Hai Peng has full cargo hold, and she's trying to load a 6 and a 5. She's already got a 5 on board, so she can drop Black Bart in the helmsman, and then that would slow her down. But then she can exchange the Explorer for the helmsman after, or I guess for Black Bart, that's what she would do. Yeah, that's what she'll do. Okay. I don't usually use this like Explorer loophole, so that's why I'm kind of taking some time with it to make sure I get it right. So she's going to exchange Black Bart and the helmsman for the 6 and the 5 on the island, and then the Explorer action ends. Now via the free transfer rules, she's going to transfer the Explorer to the island and reload Black Bart. So now she has all 4 spaces taken up again. She's got the winning 16 gold aboard, and now Micron is going to give her a second action to move L, S, and then L with Black Bart's bonus. No helmsman bonus, but she gets the captain plus L. And now we're going to roll for the whirlpool damage. And she does take damage. Interesting. She really doesn't want to lose a coin or a mast. So she'll lose Black Bart because she's, even if Angelica blocks her, I think she'll be able to get home with 2 move segments. So I'm gonna toss Black Bart overboard in the whirlpool damage because she wants durability and she wants to retain her coinage. So that's her 2 actions. And yeah, this is going to be easier for them to win than I thought. Bloody Jewel's coming home. She's actually got sack fodder aboard. She loses this. She doesn't do well in the whirlpool roll. And she does lose something. This time she won't lose a mast. She's going to lose that face down abandoned oarsman that's technically a coin. So whatever. Actually, no, she's going to keep that. My bad. She's going to lose her explorer. So she doesn't need that anymore. Realistically. Yeah, she'd rather have the oarsman. So, okay. Yeah, I guess I thought, I'll flip it and pause it. I thought with the altar getting thrown out, it would be harder for them to win with only one turn of control, but that's all they really need to like dump Micron. And yeah, dumping Micron is huge because then Angelica can't move and shoot. Because if she could move and shoot right now, they'd be in some trouble on the way back. But in this case, they should be fine. So we'll reactivate the timer. And so now kill that UPS fleet. This is only their second turn of the series where they've had control. They were 0 for 3 in the first game, and now this is their second turn out of 3 rounds, I guess, in this game where they can actually play. so still less than 50% of the time. But they're kind of screwed. I don't think they can do much. They can at least go like that. Problem is with no Micron, they can't shoot. And this thing, I can't quite get home. Even if, well, maybe she can barely touch because the island is taller than a cardboard island. Even if she gets home, that's her action. So she can load up Micron, but you need an action for Micron to donate. But she already used her move action just to get him back aboard. So that's the best she can do. And Hyena is in no man's land and can't really get anything done. So that's pretty much all they can do. They can't ram with the dragon, so they can just block. So that'll do it. I guess just to max out the score, just for kicks, the Bloody Jewel will dock first and unload her 5, and then Haipeng will come in with her 16, and that gets them the win. So 21-0, another victory for Alter Abuse. Once again, based on nice luck. The treasure distribution has been extremely favorable to them in both games. In game 1, it was perfection, and then here, although the enemy went first and found the altar immediately, Plague prevented them from using it, and then they were able to activate it, and one turn of control was really all they needed to ensure victory, especially once Maps of Alexandria and the idol wiped out the natives and let them know that they should go here for the winning gold in case Bloody Jewel got intercepted or something. Even if she did, Haipeng had the winning gold aboard, so just like in game 1. So interesting game, a bit shorter than game 1, I think, but so technically Alter Abuse is up 2-0 in the series now in a best of 3. Problem is, I don't know how Wolf is going to answer that rules question about whether or not the altar would still be applied. Like I said, since the crew had already been sacked to activate the altar before it's eliminated, I played it that it still worked. But if that was illegal, then there's a decent chance Kill That UPS can come back and win. Maybe, I don't know. So either way, I'll set up for game 3, and hopefully we won't have any like weird treasure distributions, and maybe we'll have something where the altar is not found on the first island. But either way, I'm going to count it as a win for Alter Abuse right now, and we'll just see how the series goes with a little bit more